fear and trembling, I'll bet 500.
You're very lucky, friend.
I hope it's just luck.
My father always warned me about playing with strangers. Nevertheless, I'll call that 5 and raise you 500.
My daddy always said, be kind to poor poker players. So I'll just call.
What did your daddy tell you about a king-high flush?
Well, my daddy always said, never send a boy on a man's errand. 4 bullets. Something wrong?
You know, I think you've got a holdout up your sleeve.
Oh?
Show me, mister.
Well, ask and you shall receive.
4 barrels.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to startle you, gentlemen, but you did ask to see it. Now, with your permission. Gentlemen, you're making it mighty hard to end this game on a friendly note.
You take the money, he pulls the trigger.
Well, that'll be very foolish.
Why?
Because yon aborigine is just about to blow you 4 ways from Sunday. Yes, and at this range, that scattergun has considerable spread. And both barrels would probably cut all of you off just about pocket high. Thank you, gentlemen. Oh, nearly forgot my own. Well, it may not have been pleasant, but it sure was fun.
I'll see you again.
Fine, fine. Oh, be sure and bring your apple peeler with you. The name is Derringer. Yancy Derringer.
Derringer.
No relation to my friend here. So come calling, friends.
Yeah. Gone.
He must be around somewhere.
Never mind. When he boards the boat for New Orleans tonight.
You're gambling he will?
You know I never gamble. Let's get out of here.
Derringer, I'm Lieutenant Bacon, 4th Michigan Volunteers. I'm under the command of John Colton, the president's administrator in New Orleans.
What are you doing here in Vicksburg?
Looking for you. The administrator wants me to bring you back. The sergeant and I will escort you downriver.
Fact is, I prefer traveling with Pahoo-Ka-Ta-Wah.
Who?
My Pawnee friend, Wolf, who stands in water.
I'm afraid you have no choice.
Unlike yourself, Lieutenant, I'm afraid that I have.
No. Break out a squad, Sergeant. We'll take him when he boards the Sultana.
Prepare to cast off.
Get the men off the boat. We'll telegraph New Orleans.
Mr. Hunter, we're late.
Go ahead.
No sign of him.
You'll turn up at Waverly. We'll take him there.
Isn't that dangerous?
Very.
Captain Tom. Raft dead ahead. 2 men on it.
I heard you. Sultana, light the fire.
If them river scum think I'm going to lose 20 minutes because they can't afford the price of passage, they're wrong. They've run up the old flag. There's only one fool I know that'd fly the stars and bars 3 years after the war's over, and that's... By Jupiter, it is. Yancy Derringer.
Shall I swing her to port or starboard, Captain?
Port, starboard, hold dead ahead. Stop all the engines. I mean the engine. Why, if we don't pick up Yancy, he'll sink us.
Sink us? But how can he do that?
I don't know, boy. I don't know how, but he will. Cast off the raft. Full speed ahead. Yancy.
Thank you, Captain Tom.
Yancy. Blasted fool. Where have you been these last 3 years?
Ah, places, just places. You look the same.
Well, I ain't. Everything's changed, including me.
Now you've got the same sweet disposition you always had. Which cabin is Amanda eating in?
Cabin D, top deck. Yeah, used to be your daddy's when you owned this boat. But you don't now.
Oh? Who does?
A fellow named Charles Hunter. Owns most everything around here. Is this heathen with you?
He's not a heathen. He's a fine, clean-cut savage.
Well, Mr. Hunter's got an ironclad rule against carrying engines.
No, I just changed it. If you're afraid he'll take the hair off of some of your passengers, why don't you invite him up to the wheelhouse with you? Yeah, you need a haircut.
Turn.
My, you sure hate to lose at poker, don't you?
Not poker, Mr. Derringer. A much bigger game. Can you swim?
My daddy never taught me.
You're a liar.
He had a head like an anvil, built like a hit iron.
Yancy, here. Come on.
Yancy, this boat too slow for you? You trying to swim to New Orleans?
Well, I might be safer at that. Thank you, Roy, Pete, Luke. Obadiah!
Oh, Yancy. Obadiah. Oh, Marsh Yancy. I've been praying for the time I'd set my eyes on you again. For years, we thought you was dead and buried. We heard you got killed in the war. And here you are, alive, well. I can't believe it.
Here, now. Come here. Turn around here. Let me look at you. Why, you look fine. Just fine. A little more snow over the ears, maybe, but...
Now, don't you worry about me. You catch your death in those wet clothes.
Get me out of them, then.
Well, where's your luggage?
Up in the wheelhouse.
I'll get it.
Obadiah.
Yes, sir.
Don't let anyone see you.
Don't you worry. Oh.
Where's Miss Amanda?
She's in the bedroom. Miss Amanda! Miss Amanda! You better come running.
Yancy!
8 years has done nothing but improve the unimprovable.
Oh, I've missed you so.
Oh, now, you better just quit missing me or you're going to ruin that beautiful dress.
Oh, I don't care. I was so worried. You were supposed to meet me on the boat in Vicksburg. When you didn't show up, I thought something terrible had happened. How did you get all soaked like this?
Well, 3 sort of unfriendly fellows met me at your cabin door, pistol whipped me, and tossed me at the catfish.
Yancy.
And the fellow that hit me really meant to stop my clock. If it hadn't been for my little friend here, I'd be eating Mississippi mud right now.
But how could they have known that you were meeting me on the Sultana?
Honey Bunch, how should I know? I haven't been home for 8 years.
Yancy, this is serious. It's just what I was afraid of when I telegraphed you. But I had to get you home again to New Orleans, Yancy. You're in grave danger. That's why I urged secrecy.
And you didn't tell anyone that I was coming home?
Oh, why, of course not. I was afraid.
Well, that's funny. In Vicksburg, 2 little boys in blue tried to take me into custody. Now, how did they know that I was on my way home to the old plantation?
I don't know.
Here's your luggage, Marsh Yancy.
Oh, put it in the other room, Obadiah.
Yes, ma'am.
Wait till we're alone.
Now, is there anything else?
Well,
I know. You've got that same hungry look on your face you used to have every time Lily Rose started cooking hush puppies. I'll get you something to eat.
Thank you.
I'm glad you're safely back, Marsh Yancy.
Safely?
Never mind that now. I want to hear about where you've been for the last 8 years. Now, come on, tell me everything.
You mind if I tell you in a pair of dry breeches?
You may use my cabin to preserve your modesty. If you have any left.
Do you think I'll be safe in here?
That's up to you.
But how? I hit him hard enough.
Find him.
Now, I want you to tell me where you've been all this time and what's happened to you.
All right. Got shot at Cold Harbor. Spent a year in a Yankee prison hospital. Escaped. The war was over. Went out west to strike it rich. Didn't. Got your telegram.
The telegram? Well, that's it. In John Colton's position, he could have intercepted that telegram.
Well, that's the second time today I've heard Mr. Colton's name.
He's the Yankee administrator of New Orleans.
Now, what would the Yankee administrator of New Orleans want with a poor old Johnny Reb like me?
He's out to kill you.
Derringer. You live in luck. But this time it's all run out.
Who are you? What do you want?
Get out of the way.
Well, now, you'd better do as the gentleman says, Amanda. Or you might get hit with a buckshot, too.
Buckshot.
Friend, do you have a feeling that there's someone standing behind you?
There's nobody there.
Well, I'm sure you remember him. Kind of a big fellow. Pawnee Indian. With a double-barrel shotgun that's right now pointed at the back of your head. Have you ever seen a man that was hit with both barrels? Oh, it's a sad sight. First, it knocks him about 10 feet. Then you just have to mop him up off the deck. It's just awful.
Keep away from me.
Oh, now, don't you go get to sounding nervous. Because that Indian is nervous enough. And that scattergun has got hair triggers. Now, you just better hand me that pistol. Because in 3 seconds, you're going to lose all of your worries.
Don't let him shoot. Make him stop. Here, take the gun. Don't let him shoot.
Do you mind stepping out of the ladies' cabin? It's been very nice seeing you again.
Is he dead?
Not if he can swim. Why is John Colton after me?
It's your plantation.
Waverly? It's impossible. Farragut shelled it right into the ground.
Well, that's the way it was, yes. But not now. It's been rebuilt. The whole plantation's been rebuilt. It's more beautiful than it ever was.
Who did it?
I did.
How?
Well, after the war, they were seizing plantations everywhere, where there was no family left. Well, the Derringers were gone. John Colton wanted Waverly for himself, but I stopped him.
How in the world could you possibly
As
stop?
your wife, Mrs. Yancy Derringer.
And he believed you?
For a while, but now I'm sure he knows it isn't true. Don't you see? That's why he's after you. If something happens to you, Waverly would be his.
He sure must want it pretty badly. But why?
We can beat him, darling. We've got to.
You know, I'm going to have a powerful powwow with that, Mr. Colt.
No chance. Why, he'll kill you on sight. Cass's Crossing. I'll pack, Yancy. We'll get off here.
Why? New Orleans is still way downriver.
Well, don't you see? If Colton knows you're coming in, he'll have his boys in blue with a basket of bayonets waiting on the levee for you. We'll go down to Waverly by carriage. And, darling, remember, if you ever do meet Colton, it'll be you or him.
Oh, lackaday. Seems we weren't the only ones who got off here.
Who else did?
A couple of sore losers. Well, I declare. A homecoming party.
Yancy, there's something I didn't tell you.
Amanda, there have been so many surprises tonight. Let me figure this one out all by myself. Hey!
That is number 16. Roy, thank you, Betty.
Yancy, don't go in there.
Number 30.
I know how you feel.
Do you, Amanda?
I had to do it. This was the price to rebuild Waverly, the casino. Yancy, don't do anything foolish.
This was my home. I was born here. My father before me, my grandfather before him, and you turn it into a casino.
Well, Yancy, it's not my fault, believe me. Yancy, please.
Number 22. That's left.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've made your last bet. This is my home. So get out, and get out fast! And you get out.
Yancy Derringer?
That's me.
I'm John Colton. I want to talk to you. Why did you do that?
I'm not going to see him hang for killing you. Henry, George, somebody, help me carry him upstairs.
Look at this.
Well, thank you, Henry. Oh, thank you, gentlemen. And now, would you mind clearing everybody out of the house and going home? Thank you so much. Mr. Colton, I want to be alone with my husband. Please go. If he comes to and sees you, it'll only mean more trouble.
Very well, madam.
Bunks, you're going to be the death of me yet. Wouldn't have worked anyway.
Too many witnesses. If you'd accepted my military escort, this wouldn't have happened.
Let me go.
Do you understand now?
Ah, yes. My lady love here wanted to be a two-time widow, without having been a one-time wife.
She counted on the records of New Orleans having been destroyed when Farragut took the city years ago. They weren't. I had to believe her marriage certificate until we'd assembled the old records. Then, 2 months ago, I found another certificate of marriage. Not between Amanda Eaton and Yancy Derringer, but a different spouse. Still very much alive. Charles Hunter.
Faithful, true blue Amanda.
I wish I really was your widow.
Now let her go. I'd hate to be the first administrator of this city to hang a woman. Can we talk?
Well, I certainly owe you that.
Since becoming administrator of this city, I've run across a very astonishing fact. From the highest to the lowest places, particularly the lowest, your name has always been spoken with the greatest respect.
Well, I've been around the track.
I want you to work for me.
I'm a rebel, Mr. Colton.
Ex-rebel. The war is over, Mr. Derringer, and these are hard times. New Orleans has become a treasure chest. The fortune hunters of the world are here. I want a man who loves this city, loves the South, who'll work without pay, without portfolio, without protection, as my personal agent.
Sounds like absolutely nothing.
I want an angel. A black angel who'll be on the inside before something happens. A man who'll do anything for law and order. Anything, and get away with it. Because if that man were caught, Mr. Derringer, I might be compelled to hang him.
Charming proposition. But we got company. Welcome to Waverly.
Did you think I'd give it up?
I'm not going to.
Derringer, you live in luck.
Now, the last man that said that to me is, swimming home.
He talked too much.
Is it bad?
No, doesn't hurt much. I think it missed the bone.
Charlie!
Sorry.
Charlie. Charlie.
Well, I'd better tie this off.
Oh, I hate you. You'll pay for this somehow.
It's the way it goes. Lady wanted to be a widow. Now she is one. There you are. That should do it.
Thanks. Where on earth did you find that Indian?
Who, Pahoo-Ka-Ta-Wah? Well, you see, he saved my life once. That means he went against fate. Therefore, he's responsible for my life from now on.
Well, that should keep him pretty busy if you accept my offer.
You on one side of the law and me on the other.
That's right.
Same law?
Yes.
What you want is a rakehelly, a rogue, a scoundrel, a gentleman, a smuggler, a gambler, and a fool.
Well, Mr. Derringer?
Well, Mr. Colton, I guess I'm your huckleberry. One southern gentleman to one northern gentleman, I'd like to offer you a mint julep. I thought you'd never get here.
To the south, Mr. Derringer.
No, Mr. Colton. To the Union.